Welcome to another exciting episode of Inside the Humidor. We're going to have a great time today. We're talking with Jack Torano with Torano Cigars, now part of General Cigars. We want you to stick around here, pay attention. You're going to find out about some great booze, great sports, and great cigars.
Welcome to another edition of Inside the Humidor. I'm Josh Eagle, as always alongside Josh Mills and Ed Brandyberry. The unfamiliar face you see, the handsome man over here, is Jack Torano from Torano Cigars. Welcome to Inside the Humidor.
Thank you for having me, guys.
So, Jack, you got to tell me a bit about Torano and how it all got started and how you ended up here at the smokestack with Mark from General.
What do we got, half an hour?
Your bridge version.
Started 102 years ago now with my grandfather in Spain, but we won't even go into that anymore. 2014, General bought the brand. Let's go back a little bit further. 2008, General bought STG bought the Torano factory in Esteli. And at that time, some of our cigars still continue to be made there. Not that one. The Exodus 59 Gold. They were never left that factory, but all of our cigars started being manufactured in other factories. 2014, General buys the brand, and all the Torano blends end up back at the original factory, which is a pretty cool little thing that's happening there. I was just visited with my cousin Charlie. We were just over there, and it was a lot of good memories. You know, Charlie got to see a lot of people that was working. You know, I wasn't back with the family in 2008. I was doing TV and radio commercials.
Oh, look at you.
In Chicago. So I came back in 2010.
Oh, we got a big time one.
So anyways, yeah, we can do a commercial if you want.
Sounds good.
So anyways, in 2014, when General buys the brand, you know, they bought the brand. They didn't buy any of us. We were all gone, basically. Charlie retired playing fishing and golfing, and I went on to work at another company for about a year and a half until I finally came to let's call it an agreement. I was always in contact with General. I knew what I wanted to do. I came back. I used to sell leaf tobacco in the 80s out of a warehouse I was in and out of the industry for over 30 years. But when I came back in 2010, it was to represent Torano. And that year and a half that I wasn't representing Torano, I was doing my best to try to let General know that's what I wanted to be doing. And it took them about 19 months to agree with me. They came out with this vault line that you see here, the Mexican San Andre, the Nicaraguan Puro, the Honduran blend, and the Ecuador Sumatra. 4 real unique blends at a great price point. It was kind of to build that foundation for Torano again. You know, we had lost a lot of brick and mortar stores. We had lost a lot of, just didn't. It didn't end well in 2014 with everybody getting let go. A lot of bad blood there. Retailers kind of knocked it out. So we needed to get a lineup in there that put us in everybody's good graces, from the retailer to the consumer. And I think this vault lineup has done a great job in that. You know, a great price point for the retailers, and an outstanding price point for consumers, and 4 unique blends, 4 great cigars.
Also, what I like about it is you also have protected brick and mortars in this lineup.
Exactly.
Which ones are those?
The purple and the green are brick and mortar exclusives. You won't see them online. The blue and the yellow are price protected online.
Excellent. Which is huge for getting back into the brick and mortar good graces. I mean, you have to have, you can't have a lineup where you want to be in brick and mortar and start to compete in brick and mortar unless you have something they can sell, or you get something they can't discount down, $1,000,000% below what we can sell.
We can sell it here for $80, they can sell it online for $550.
Well, I was just at a retailer, and I told him the same thing, and the guy's like, "Yeah, all right." And he looks at all the prices, and he goes right online, and I'm like, "Oh no, this guy's gonna find the one,
some
online.
Guy out there." Yeah.
And he pulls it up, and he goes, "They're actually selling it more expensive than I would." And I was like, dang, that's never happened before.
Wow. And that's good. So what's the future hold for Torano? What are we looking at? So this is our original release. I did have one question, maybe you can answer.
Yes,
the
sir.
size of the Sumatra, why so similar?
You know, the FDA is not only messing with predicate blends, they're also messing with predicate sizes. So that's what led to these odd Robusto 660, Robusto Toro, Robusto Rothschild.
Okay.
You know,
I mean, that makes
was an
sense.
interesting lineup, yeah. With
yeah.
those there, so.
So there's everything from a Rothschild to a 660, but if you like a Rothschild and you like a Mexican San Andre,
Okay, so we're
good
using-
luck with you. Good luck to you.
So, with some of the old blends, which ones are still around?
So we also have on top of this the brick line. The brick,
Yeah.
the brick has been selling great, still doing very well. The Reserva Decadencia, the port wine infused glass tube,
Okay.
that
Mark,
still
really?
does very well out there. And then our legacy brands, which are really down to Cameroon 1916, Exodus 59 Gold, Exodus 59 50 year, and Casa Torano. We are kind of doing a little bit of a facelift. Those are going to be brought back. Again, those were being discounted online, no longer. As of April 1st, when we re-released them, they will be price protected online.
And you're going to go full re-release, new packaging?
New, very, you know, the one thing is they love those bands. General loves the look of the band, so we want to update the logo. We're going to add, we're probably going to unite those two bands because that's the only one that has a secondary band. We're going to unite those, and the secondary band will just say Legacy.
Okay.
It'll be a really eye-popping gold foil embossed Legacy. We were working on it the other day with our graphics guy Humberto down in Miami. I was actually sitting in my backyard in shorts. Now that I think of it,
Yeah.
Well, you're not today.
I'm not today. But yeah, so we're gonna tie those initially three. The Cameroon 1916 probably next year will be revamped a little bit, but those three will be re-released. The 50 year will be the feature of it. Still one of our best-selling cigars right now, and it will be the feature release at the show for us probably. Feature
that'll-
re-release.
Well, we'll be there looking.
Masterline got hammered pretty good with
Masterline
the transition.
got again not a predicate blend.
Right.
You know, there were a lot. I mean, you guys in this area know Miguel Chodel.
Yep.
Miguel came up with Salutum, not a predicate blend. Great cigar, not a predicate blend. So the Master was our best-selling cigar for about 4 or 5 years. Didn't make the cut.
That's a real
It's a shame.
shame. We've talked about that on prior shows, guys.
There's a
I
couple
mean,
of
that's right.
FDA episodes.
you
where
know,
we
and
kinda
now you're
break
getting
down
the
what's going
firsthand that
on.
we're not making it up and we can't tell you that you can't get it anymore.
Yeah,
You know, it's actually a true statement.
yeah.
Right, because companies have to protect their property assets, and they have to protect the investments that they're making into tobacco. Like we remind everyone every year that the cigars are made from a plant that has to be grown over again. It's not a perennial that just keeps popping up.
This will be replanted every
That's
year.
right, every year. And we've often reflected that one of the amazing things is that master blender who makes sure that the blends are consistent year after year after year with
hope.
the. Yeah.
You truly hope.
You truly hope. Yeah, we're out.
That's a
I
good.
mean,
that's
yeah.
a good question. Who's doing the blending for Torano now that the family's out and General's in? You got some guys you work with, or did you know?
These are all the guys at STG. You know, the Hector, all these different guys at STG coming up with these blends. I was not involved in any of these. You know, I was involved a little bit in the 50 year back in the day, but all the blends that I was involved with mostly were
Not.
gone.
Is that something you're gonna do in the future, or are you just gonna be more of the face of the?
You know,
face of
depending on the
franchise?
FDA, you know, if the FDA continues to run its course, really innovation and new releases are going to go by the wayside.
that's
You know,
right.
you'll be able to have a new release, but it's going to be an old release. Really, it's going to be a grandfathered in,
That's right.
substantial equivalent, same thing from So you'll be smoking a new cigar that you
It's
enjoy.
really an old cigar.
Well, an old cigar with a new name on it.
Imagine if they did that, guys, in the craft beer industry. It would be
Oh,
gone. There'd be no such thing as craft beer.
Not everyone's going to drink around drinking New Belgium from now till the end of time.
Right.
You know, it's going to get pretty stale pretty quick. And before you know it, it's going to be back to the big boys, and it's going to be Bud and Miller.
Yeah,
and
here's
that's pretty
here's,
much it.
Exactly.
here's the rules you now have to play by. Not as of today, as of 10 years ago. You know, what?
We only just found out today.
Right. Yeah. It makes no sense. Yeah, the whole thing.
The
and hopefully,
retroactive idea.
do you know where that
Wild.
stands? You know, I'm pretty active here in
I
Pennsylvania.
hear some people that are really
It still
optimistic
feels-
about it. You don't sound necessarily.
I don't. I know that the filing of substantial equivalent and those things was postponed to 2021.
Yes.
I think somebody,
And then they were gonna
somebody
bump that
I read
predicate
today
date.
where somebody new was appointed, and
Yeah.
we have some wishful thinking. A lot of people are hanging their hat on the Trump administration putting an end to this. I don't know. Is the FDA going to go away? I don't think so. They regulate everything. Why wouldn't they regulate us? You know, the thing is,
It's
be
the
fair,
how.
Be fair about
Yeah,
it.
it's the how.
Right,
fair
right,
about
right.
If that's the case, and every other tobacco product is regulated
and-
by the FDA, let's be realistic. Let's not have it be done essentially in a lab that they have no clue what's going on in the actual industry. They've probably never even seen a cigar made in their life, but they're coming up with these chemical balances and things that make no sense. Like these are natural products. There's no additives.
Yeah. You can examine all of them.
Yeah.
It's going to be tobacco, water, and
Yeah.
vegetable.
What's
glue.
that inspection look like? A guy in a lab cuts it open with a razor and says, "Yep, tobacco in this one too, boss." And
I think a lot of the postponing is because the FDA doesn't know how to what they're
I mean,
going
I'm
to do.
Yeah. What are you actually going to say?
Yeah, what are we going to do to
You know, who
test this?
You come out
how
with a
many people? How
spectrometer
many
and-
people on this planet can take a cigar and dissect it and say, "Oh, wait a minute, that's not jalapa, that's Pueblo Nuevo," or
there's only a handful of guys in the industry that can do it.
yeah. They're trying to pull one over on us here.
That's
This
on the
is a
Tampa if I
quarterly.
ever
This
saw
is
it, I'll
bigger
tell you
than a
right
quarterly. I mean, I don't know how they're going to regulate that. So.
And that's one of those things that
Yeah.
and that's what's going to keep getting pushed back. But hopefully it doesn't get pushed back and all of a sudden go through. And then all of a sudden, like they keep pushing it out of sight, out of mind until they bang hit that day. They've done it to us before on other things, and then all of a sudden you're scrambling like, "Whoa, wait, what just happened?" So now it's not 10 years ago. Now it's 20 years. You know what I mean? We just extended this out. We keep the same days. We extend it. It makes no sense. The
I mean,
industry's
we're
got
still
to-
arguing. We're still discussing the same things. I mean, we got lumped in with cigarettes and vape,
Yeah.
and premium hand-rolled cigars are less than 1% of the tobacco industry.
It's just
You know,
a fact.
it's nobody
the
is
best part.
it's in places like this. Nobody is forcing this stuff on kids. Kids are not seeking this out.
No, and I've even
No.
said here.
It's a difficult thing to abuse, even. I mean,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can't
yeah.
OD on cigars. You don't get drunk on cigars. It's like, what's the
You know,
downside?
I got
realistically?
a little buzzed on
Well,
a
you can,
cigar the
you
other
can
day.
get a little buzz.
Yeah.
Get a
What
little
was
nicotine
it? What was it? It was
punch, but
Fable.
Fable.
Skip Martin makes it.
Okay.
And that doesn't necessarily make you feel good, though.
No, it wasn't
It's not a
it
great
wasn't a
feeling.
good high.
Yeah, right. It's not a great feeling. Yeah, it's not the kind you try not
That's
to
the kind of
duplicate.
high you go looking for.
No,
yeah.
that wasn't.
Yeah. And the thing about
It's the
It's a great cigar, beautiful burn, and more than halfway through it, I was sitting in the shop in New Jersey.
Was it that strong, or are you just chiefing a little too
It was
fast?
that strong.
Wow.
It was that strong.
I
It
can
was,
imagine
yeah.
you smoke a couple cigars.
You know,
so.
yeah. Skip. You notice I'm smoking Connecticut right now. I'm smoking the lightest cigar we make. I'm not a strong cigar smoker.
and then that changes everything too. What you eat, what cigars you use to smoke, and how much
Absolutely.
nicotine you consume. Do you deliver any other types
You
of
had a
nicotine?
customer here a minute ago that said that after a big meal, he likes to have a light cigar, and I was like, wow, I hadn't heard that. Usually after a good
Bring me
steak
my
dinner or
LaFleur
something,
Dominicana
that's
or
when I want to
something.
have,
Yeah.
the meat of a cigar. That's when I
Right.
want to. He says, well, I'm just opposite of that. And I was like, wow, that's interesting. I hadn't
And I
heard
can
that
see
one
that
before.
too because I'm not a huge. When I fill up, I don't feel necessarily great. It's not like I want to get indulged and do it. I don't drink like after a dinner. I don't usually have a scotch. I have just water. I'd rather smoke a Connecticut in the same way. Then once that digestion happens, then I'll hit.
I have a good big
Well,
dinner. You sit
okay.
down with, the classic digestivo, some porter sherry or scotch or coffee or something like that.
Right.
Puff on a nice heavy stick. Yeah, that's the classic.
That's
I
the
guess.
classic, but I'm not that
The
way.
age-old
either.
tale.
I start off with the Connecticut in the morning, a cup of coffee. Well, it's really a couple cups of coffee.
So,
What Connecticut is
I'm
that?
still drinking coffee.
You want to know?
No,
Casa Torano?
Caldwell Eastern Standard.
Champagne, maybe? I don't know who would make that.
So you've been traveling around a good bit, right? How long have you been actually
Since June of 2016,
Okay.
I've been back.
So you got around the States pretty good then?
Oh, yeah.
I hear a lot about cigar scenes in different cities and stuff like that. I hear Houston and Texas is kind of like a cigar mecca right now. It's really popping
I'll
down
be there in 2 weeks. I got events in Houston, and then I got to fly to Dallas. And
Where's your favorite? Where do you think has the coolest cigar scene right now? I mean, Miami's obviously outstanding and
Miami's unique.
unique.
Miami's a very fickle. Well, there is cigar shops everywhere, and they're all wonderful, and they're all very unique. But where I would travel somewhere in Houston, or last week I was in New Jersey and I did an event. 30, 40 guys showed up. In Miami, I'm at that shop every week. They're like, Jack's coming?
Yeah.
Who cares? These people up north, they're excited to see you. Miami, no one's excited to see me.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I go, dude, you're here again.
And you get that effect can wear on, just even reps up here, and if you have too many events in 1 year, the same.
Yeah, we have a
it's
rep
not-
that lives locally, and he's in here a couple times a week playing board games and stuff with us.
Exactly.
And it gets to a point where your guys are doing it. Didn't you just do a rep with them? It's like, no, it's a year ago. But it doesn't feel that way because he's in here all the time.
Yeah, so every once in a while, if I'm in Miami, I don't really do it anymore, but I used to do that. I'm always hanging out at a shop somewhere. And I would do hey, while I'm here, I got a bundle of cigars. We'll do a 3-in-1. I'm
Right.
like,
Yeah.
I don't even care anymore.
That's what he
Oh,
does.
you're doing another 3-in-1? Yeah.
Yeah, well,
So,
you're here every Monday for a 3-in-1. Yeah.
yeah.
And we've actually found that in the event scene, just in general, that has nothing to do even with you. Like over the years we've been doing this, to get people through the door for an event and get excited about events like they were, even 3 years ago, but more like 5, 6 years ago, where you get people lining up for deals.
Yeah.
That really isn't happening anymore in the
It's not.
industry.
It's more about what is the event.
What is the event?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter what cigar's up there, and if you could take any cigar in the shop, put it up there with a 4-in-1, order some pizza and a case of beer, and nobody really
And you got
cares.
an event.
Yeah,
and nobody cares.
You gotta do something else, kind of. That's why we get
Yeah.
into our pig roasts of the world and whiskey tastings and
Crawfish
crawfish
boils,
cookouts
yeah.
and all
And,
that.
and Mark is going to do a little go-go dancing later. So
I heard
we-
that.
Mark's
Oh,
got it.
wow.
We make sure
All
that
right,
Mark
all
gets
right,
in.
Great.
Yeah.
That's why he
He
walks
left.
Trying to
out.
brighten the mood.
I actually think he might have left.
Just went right out the door.
Yeah, you heard you say that. Walked out the door.
So you mentioned sports before. You're a sports fan.
I am. Well,
Did you fall in love in Chicago or what?
I did. I was with a sports team or a girl.
No, there's a girl. I was a sports team in Chicago. there's Florida teams
my
there.
only loyalty, sadly, is the Miami Dolphins. That's
Yeah,
the
that's what I was
only
just
team.
gonna say.
That's the only team I had growing
I
up.
can respect.
Yep.
So I never had loyalty to the Heat or the Marlins. And the year the Marlins won their first World Series, I had moved in March to Chicago. And then one of my good friends is
Tell me, how long did you live in Chicago for?
14 and a half years.
I must ask, are you familiar with a liquor called Jepson Malort?
I am not.
Oh man, a Chicagan Galaxy.
Is it really?
No.
No,
It's actually a Chicago. Actually, one of the reps brought it up to me a couple of weeks back.
And?
It is considered the worst alcohol in the country.
It's
And he
like
said, "You got to. This is so bad. You would never want to have it." And he was laughing at the reviews online, and people were saying it like the taste and the memes and stuff that came out of this were out of control. And I'm looking at him and go, "Well, you're getting some, right?" And he's like, "Why would you want that?" I'm like, "Because you told me it was the worst." ever."
Yeah.
So
you
now I
gotta-
have to
yeah,
have
yeah.
it. So I ordered it online from Chicago, and a couple days back, we had a little tasting.
Is it pungent?
You're welcome to some.
It's a tire
For some
fire for your
reason,
mouth.
it didn't get
Yeah.
it didn't get finished for some reason. Yeah,
Yeah.
that bottle's still here.
But they say out of 50
Mine
people,
went into the toilet as
out
soon
of 50
as
people
it
that
got
try it, 48 will never try it again. And 2 people out of the 48 will at least have a second shot. So we made sure that
We'll
we were in
actually
the
drop
two.
Everyone that did this, we did 2 shots back to back just to be in the 2 out of 50 club.
Yes.
And
It was terrible.
was it really?
Among the worst experiences of my life.
Is it expensive? Is it
21 bucks.
It is a burnt wine.
We spent like 30 for
I'm gonna
shipping
have
though
to
from
try
Chicago.
it.
Yes, you have to try it.
I'm gonna have to
See?
try it.
See? He's one of the two.
Yeah, if somebody comes to you and says, "Listen, This is the worst cigar made. You got to give it a couple puffs.
Right.
You gotta,
Give it a-
Yeah, let me see.
It's like when your buddy comes over and says, "Dude, smell this. It's terrible." Of
yeah,
course.
yeah,
you gotta-
yeah,
What are you
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about?
Gotta have a few rainy days to appreciate the sunny ones.
Does
boy.
this smell like crap? You actually smell it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Oh, let me see. Oh, yeah, it really does.
Yeah, it
I'll
does.
tell you, after the Jepson incident, this lore tastes that much sweeter.
Oh, this is
You can really appreciate it.
I love the finish on this. This is really.
Yeah.
Yeah, really
And when
nice.
you actually first take a swig, a little swill and then a little swig of that Jepson's, it doesn't smell too terrible.
No.
And you taste it and you're like, what's everyone's big? Then you're like,
You can't even finish the sentence.
What is
it
going
hits you, and you're like,
on?
what is going on? Like, and then it doesn't go away. It builds for like the next 10. I can't wait for you to try this.
You get rid of it, it's going to be with you for a
Is
while.
it a pretty bottle?
No, the whole thing
Is there
pretty.
anything
There's
appealing
no
about
redeeming
this?
quality.
There is
Nothing.
zero. Why it's made, I have no idea. If it's only because I want to be the worst, they are accomplishing that.
They've achieved perfection in their awfulness. It's
There he
truly-
is.
And for
We were
those
just
of
talking about you.
the cynicism that comes out of this guy, he in no way believed those reviews online and said there's no way it's going to be that bad. And it's almost like, and then when he's going, no, I'm not having it anymore, then I'm done. Like, it's just so gross. Like, to actually have those reviews come through in a negative way was actually somewhat rewarding. Like, this actually is terrible.
So it sounds like this company like embraces that.
Oh, I embrace it.
Yeah, they embrace
Well, the quote for the two people ever drinking again,
Jepson, isn't
that
it?
came from the master distiller. Like they're well aware that everybody hates it. Keep on making it.
Keep on making it.
How long has this been around?
100-something years.
Tradition.
Wow. We're in the
It's
wrong
only
group.
served in Chicago. Can't buy it anywhere else. In the
And
country.
Still
I-
in, like,
I did
Southern
14
Florida.
and a half
It's
years.
skilled in Florida, so you have both connections. You've never had Today's your lucky day.
And I had to come to
Fortunes are-
Pittsburgh.
And you had to go to Pittsburgh to get it. This place is full of surprises. What I wanted to ask, actually, back to Torano. The colors of the boxes. At first, I looked at them and I'm like, what are they trying? But they've really grown on me.
They grew on me too.
Yeah, they've
I
really
want to be
grown.
honest with you. I think a lot of people, and you know, I haven't heard the natural comparison in over a year now. I mean, it's in the beginning, every store I walked into,
I was gonna ask, and then I was like, yeah,
you know,
I'm
but
sure
it
he's bothered- got
you know, I
bothered a
started.
million times.
It was like people would actually come up to me and go, you know, this looks a lot like, and I'd be like,
Oh,
my
really?
God, you're right.
whoa.
You know, I mean, listen, it grew on me. It truly pops on shelf.
Possibly
No doubt about it.
Gets the
And,
attention.
if you have all your general cigar products together, which we do back there,
Yeah.
it really,
It's kind of like a
as part of a
color
larger
explosion.
portfolio,
Yeah.
you know, it works within the Torano line, and then within the whole puzzle that is general, it works nice. It looks good.
mean,
There's a lot of color pop. It's a attractive looking humidor.
Yeah.
There's trapezoids and you know and
Those goofy Gloria boxes, and then you got the sugar skulls on the
On the
foundry
time- on the
stuff,
time
and you
flies
got
and-
Yeah.
the
So
new
it's-
punch
it's-
boxes that are in the classics. I mean, it just all kind of melts together in this homogenous.
yeah, it's kind of a cigar circus. I kind of
It's
like
cool.
it.
We
Yeah.
we have discussed an actual fifth brick and mortar only.
Okay.
We've gone, you know, to a natural white box, or I didn't want to do black.
I'm looking at this. You need to get like a salmon or baby blue.
Yeah.
I like the burnt orange.
Burnt orange would be a
Oh,
good
yeah,
one.
yeah,
I don't know if it
yeah,
goes
yeah.
with these. Burnt orange is too warm. These are some cool pastel-y colors.
Sounds like we're watching HGTV.
Yeah. Well, I am the
That
one
is the.
steward
Gr-
of cigars.
Do you watch HGTV?
This really is a cigar show.
I walked into a shop in New
Despite the
Jersey.
content today.
There was a bunch of like old mafioso guys, you know, just having cigars. Really cool shop, and they were all watching HGTV.
Heck yeah, man.
Everybody loves HGTV.
Is that in
And then-
Twin in Philadelphia?
No. Those guys are the best. Those guys
They're
are the
great,
best.
aren't they?
If there's ever a reality show in a cigar shop, it's got to be there. But another shop in San Antonio I walked into, there were 4 UPS drivers and this guy that looked like he'd come in on a Harley, and they were watching one of the couples. It wasn't the Chip and Joanne. It was the pretty blonde and the ones that got divorced.
Yeah.
And I was doing expenses, so I sat up and I was watching them, and they were discussing the remod, the tile, the this, the that. And then they started talking flavors.
I can't believe they went Subway on
Oh
that.
yeah. Then
Never should've went Subway.
then they start talking flavored cigars. And when I finished, I said, "All right, I got to call you guys out. I need man cards here because it's all right. You were watching HGTV, but now you're talking flavored cigars, man. What's going on here?" And they were all like, "You see how hot this girl is?" And I said, "Yes, I do. But I've been here half an hour. Not one of you have mentioned my girl."
Yeah, no, I don't want to mention the girl. They mentioned the Subway towel.
They mentioned the
four
Subway
mashed
That was
towel.
potatoes.
2 hours before you got there.
Yeah.
And how that wood grain is popping next to the no.
I love that.
So more and more, I talk to my wife. Listen, me and my wife watch Chip and Joanne religiously,
Right?
and it's
a good
funny
couple
now.
show.
You walk into a lot of cigar shops, and there's not some replay of a football game on. There's
Right.
HGTV.
Here,
No.
What's that stupid car,
oh my
car
God.
network that
the
just plays in
Beecham
nauseam?
Auto
Miami
auction.
too. The
It
auto
is
auction.
on. They play that all the time.
I got a couple of buddies down there that actually run some of those classic car shows
Okay.
all over
Okay.
Miami, Jerry and Artie. And every time you see them walking into Master Cigars in Miami, and they already changed the TV to the, and they've seen that show 900 times.
That's the same one.
It's the
There's
same
only
one.
a couple Meachams. I mean, literally watching the same cars go through.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they.
I'm not a car guy, so to me it's just.
I'm pretty sure they were pleasuring themselves to Barrett Jackson a few weeks ago because the way
That's
they were
was a new one.
talking,
Oh yeah, that was it, man.
the way they were
Yeah.
talking about that.
New Barrett Jackson, man. Can't wait for that release to come out. No, but up here, you're in Steeler country. You know that.
What a great game, man.
Yeah.
I was rooting for Big Ben. I love Big Ben, and he was putting on a show.
He did threw a bunch of touchdowns. Threw one backwards. They called a run, which wasn't a run.
Here we go.
Was, yeah.
But
Should have been 6.
should have been 6 touchdowns.
Should have been 6.
I'm trying to take anything out of the game that I possibly can.
Not the
redeeming
defense.
42
man.
points.
I think
And you
us
lose.
4 could have played defense and gave up 41. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was.
It's unbelievable.
It was a crazy game, and then New England looked like they were beat.
So Patriots or Eagles? Who are you going for?
Well, I'm in a suicide pool. You guys know what a suicide
Yes.
pool is.
Last man standing.
So there was 209 started. We're down to 5. I'm one of the 5.
Okay.
Wow.
So it
you
was
gotta take
20
the
bucks
risk
a
and go
head,
to
so it's
Eagles.
about $4,000 the split. So we were down to 7 last week, and I thought, you know what? I hope everybody takes New England. I'm fine with the split now, like the $800-900 each,
Yeah.
and we walk away happy. And 2 of them took Minnesota. I'm happy they did now. I wasn't happy they did in the fourth quarter of the Patriots game because 5 of us took the Patriots.
Oh.
So somehow we won. Minnesota gets their ass kicked, and now there's 5 of us, and I'm truly, again, hoping that all 5 pick the same team in the Super Bowl. And
So we can split.
how can you not?
You're not going to weasel out and risk it for the Eagles.
Risk it for
Tell
the
everyone
biscuit.
to take the Patriots.
Say,
and
let's
then-
all split it, guys, and flip.
Yep.
I had that one opportunity. I had taken wild card weekend. I took New Orleans over Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else had taken Jacksonville over Buffalo. There were 9 people, and I was the only one. And Buffalo gave them a
They
game.
gave him a game, man.
So I almost had a shot at the entire pot. That went away. So now I'm happy with the split.
So we're going Patriots for the Super Bowl. What's the
How
score?
can you
How can you
not?
not?
What's the score?
I'm hoping it's a blowout.
75.
Because I
You're in bed by
suffered.
8:30.
Yeah, I suffered like crazy last week. I actually think I actually think Philadelphia has a hell of a chance, man.
Yeah.
What they did to Minnesota, if they can not get starstruck over Tommy Terrific over there,
It has happened every time
these
in the
guys
playoffs.
are these Patriots. They do this every year.
Every
so.
year. And I think what ends up happening to the teams, now they have this aura that surrounds them. So, like, you start to go up on them, you're like, I'm going to beat them, we're going to beat them. And then they start to come back, you're like, oh no, they're going to do this again.
They're gonna
And
do
you're
this again.
already, everyone's panicking. You can see the look in their face. Jacksonville was still up 14, they were panicking. I was
Yeah.
like, what? What's going on? Why are you panicking? They start, hand the ball off, just go ahead right here, we'll take time off the clock. It's the first half. Like, what are you doing?
And the Patriots don't panic.
No,
I mean,
never.
they were down
Calm,
2017.
cool, collected.
They were down 2017, 4 minutes left.
Playing like they're down
punt.
3.
Yeah.
We'll punt. We'll give you another shot. Here
Right.
you go. They go 3 and out, and they give Brady the ball on the 30-yard line
I know.
because
It's over. Game over.
Amendola runs it back to the 30. It's over.
They don't make any
dude.
mistakes. They don't make any sense.
It's crazy. It's crazy that Tom Brady does that week in and week.
For
What kind of
20 years.
lead do you have to have on this guy?
Well,
28
wasn't
to 3
enough. Yeah, it wasn't
enough.
He's like a movie villain. You can't kill him off screen. You got to double tap him in the head on screen, or he's gonna come back in the final scene and get you. You got to completely wipe him out.
This is a Packers fan.
He was a Packers fan. You're a Packers fan?
Yep, always have, bro.
Yeah.
Packers fan.
I like what do they call him? AA Ron?
Hey, Ron.
Well, you know what we're doing here?
Who's he
Is
dating now?
Carrying
The
out what
race car
happens
driver,
in
right?
our lounge,
Danica Patrick.
He just
day after day after day.
Yeah, this is the exact environment when unless you're watching HGTV in New Jersey, or this is what happens in the cigar lounge. That's why I love this business so much. Different walks of life, talk about anything you can possibly imagine.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. You
So-
can have a vice president of a medical facility sitting down with a college student.
You can have a Perdomo fan sitting next to a Torano.
That's
talking
right.
And all of
cigars.
them give you
Is that
compare the subway tile to the matching floor.
I do want to add, though, that in my defense, I am an equal opportunity smoker.
Absolutely.
You absolutely are.
So Josh Mills, Ed Brandenberry, thank you so much, Jack
Thank
Torano.
you, guys.
Get out there and burn one.
Thanks for tuning in to another great episode of Inside the Humidor. Special thanks to Jack Torano for joining us on the show today. If you have any questions about the Torano line, about where to get them, where to find them, feel free to reach out to us in the comment section down below. I'll drop my email, and I'll put contact information for Jack on there if he lets me.
My cell phone number.
Yeah, just put a cell phone number in there. Thanks for tuning in. Get out there and burn one.